What's good, you lot? It's Ellis here, and today in this video I'm gonna show you how I produce Pivot by Lil Skies.
I stand my pivot, ain't taking no breaks. Tell the fuck nigga get on my face. I got a Glock and it's right by my waist. If you try me, I get you out the way. She wanna know what I'm doing.
If you don't know already, Lil Skies is a multi-platinum Billboard artist from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. He's known for classic songs such as Lust, Nowadays, Red Roses, and so much more. So throughout this video, I'll be talking about how my music reached Lil Skies. I'll be breaking down the sample, and honestly, you'll more than likely be surprised by the way I created this sample. So stay tuned for that. But before we get into that, let me give you a bit of context on how the song came about. So if we rewind way back to December 31st, 2023, this was New Year's Eve, and this was when I got told about the song. Pretty much, it was like 11:30 p.m, right near when then everyone celebrates for New Year's. And if you know me personally, then you know that I like to celebrate for New Year's. So I'm always doing something, I'm out somewhere, partying, something like that, you know what I'm saying, as per most people might. So with that being said, I was out, and then I got a message from Paul Monstreal, who's the guy that worked with me on the sample. Paul messaged me at 8:40 p.m. saying, "What's good, brother? We got one with Lil Skies." And honestly, I thought that was crazy, but like with a lot of placements, they don't come out, stuff like that. So I wasn't exactly too hyped, but I thought it was pretty cool. And then after that, Paul then said that he was talking with his producer and he told him about it, and he even sent me the loop which Lil Skies was going to be on. Hearing that, man, I was a little bit hyped, but of course, as I said, I was out, so I couldn't even listen to the loop. Later on in the night, I kind of forgot about it because it was a lot of stuff going on. But then generally, like 2 days later, the song released. I was not prepared for that. It all just came out of nowhere within like about 3 days. With that being said, there wasn't any sort of crazy story. It was literally the fact that I was out. I've already sent Paul the starter. Paul then made the sample, sent it off to the other producer called Zerby, who's Lil Skies' producer. He's produced the majority of Lil Skies' most recent songs, albums, singles, etc, etc. A crazy producer. And then he just messaged me saying we got the song. It was as simple as that. If you're a sample maker, you know what I mean with how spontaneous the music industry is. I literally sent a starter out, no thought in the world. A week later, I have a song with Lil Skies. that in itself just sounds so crazy. That is how I got the song. But now let's break down the sample. So starting off, we're in FL right now, and I'm gonna go through my part of the starter, and then we're gonna go to another project, of which is when Paul flipped the starter and sent that off to Zerby. This is my part of the song. When I tell you, if you guys have heard the song, then you can hear there's a guitar, and that was through me. If you've seen any of my videos, then you haven't seen a guitar once. The story I'm about to tell you is kind of funny because this is what I used to make the sample. You guys can see right now we've got a guitar, but there's nothing crazy right now. You can't really see, but it's not a Fender or anything like that. I generally got this from the charity shop for probably about £10. I got this way back like years, probably about 10 years ago, because I wanted to learn the guitar, but I kind of fell out of love with it. So this guitar has just been a little ornament that has just been in the bathroom because it's got the same color as the walls. One day I thought to myself, okay, there's a guitar in there, I want to make guitar samples, let me just try out. This guitar has 5 strings, man. It's meant to be a 6 string, but it's only got 5. That's how odd it is. If that says anything, it's saying that you don't need this expensive equipment to make industry ready melodies. This was 10 quid. So yeah, anyway, this is what I made with that. As you can hear by the recording, it wasn't the best recording, but it gave it that nice little gritty sound. So for effects on that one, I put on a bit of a halftime, just 40% mixed right here. An archetype Choreo 1, boosts up the highs, a gigahertz wow control, just to add some little detune. An EQ as well to remove some of the low frequencies because it wasn't the best guitar, so some frequencies were a bit dodgy, so I had to clean it up. But this is what it sounds like without the effects. And this is what it like with the effects. So yeah, it really does flip the sound. So after that, I then added another sound, a little sort of top line to put on top of that guitar that you can already hear. That's what it sounds like. You can hear me like plucking the strings and stuff like that. With that being said, I put pretty much the same effects on it. I just put some reverb on it as well and boosted a little bit more highs. Kind of put in the back, so if I play them both together, sounds alright when they're both together. I thought, okay, we have this, we kind of have to just put other things on top of it. So after that, I added this soundscape from a kit of Daniel Taylor's, and this is what that sounded like. All it is really is just a nice little background texture which you can put on top of your beats. So I just chucked that on, and then effects wise, I literally just put on an EQ and a stereo shaper. That was it. So for the next sound, I put on this contact, and this is what that sounds like. So yeah, really as simple as it can be. All I'm doing is I'm just trying to support that main guitar sound, and as you can hear, it sounds hella detuned, and that's because I wanted to again match the sound of the guitar. So for that, I put on a sketch cassette too, just to really add some detune, because without it, this is what it sounds like. And with it, So it really just adds like a sort of vintage retro sort of sound to it. But breaking down the MIDI, there's not really too much to break down, if I'm honest. Really all it is I just got an F minor chord like so. I just got rid of the A note and just had the C. And then after that, I literally just brought the C up one. And literally that is it. I just layered it down different octaves and stuff like that, just to add some depth. And that really helped support the main melody. After that, I just chucked this little bass guitar in. This is what it sounds like. Then it went up by the end. Then after that, I then added this key sound by Carvey. That's what it sounds like. And that's actually all it is. So MIDI wise, very simple. This whole melody is quite simple, if I'm honest. That was my part of the melody. Let's move on to what Paul did. So yeah, as you guys can see right here, this is the project of which Paul used to flip the sound. And weirdly enough, if you really zoom in, then you can see that there was a lot of synth palace used. So guys, if you haven't got synth palace yet, sure to go cop that, because it was just used on this. I didn't even tell him to use it or anything, and it sounds fire. So yeah, this is how he flipped it. The way he flipped that was crazy. So for this, I'm gonna start right from the top. So from the top, this is just for my starter. He's pitched it up too. Then after that, he added the fluttering synth sound from Synth Palace, and this is what the MIDI looked like for that. So yeah, nice little sort of texture to go in the back. Effects wise, there was only just a little EQ to go on top of that, just to get rid of some frequencies. And then for the next sound, there's this synth hit one shot, again from Synth Palace, and this is what it sounds like. As you guys can hear, it sounds a little bit choppy. It's just one of those sounds that when it's in the full mix, it sounds good. After that, we have this high pitch layer, again from Synth Palace, and it was just one note. This is what it sounds like. Yeah, by the sounds of it, it was literally just to fill in space. So moving on to the next sound, this is a sound that you really hear in the final song. This is what it sounds like. It's this vocal ambience phrase. Effects wise, it just had this really sharp EQ on the lows, and this is what it sounds like. Very bouncy. It sounds like some sort of side chain on that. There was more little sounds which he chopped up from my starter, which was this, for example. He pitched it down 12. That was the piano section. He brought it down an octave and made it sound more thinner. So he kind of chopped up part of the starter right here, and this is what that sounds like. Effects wise on that, he put on a EQ2 to get rid of the lows and boost the highs. Chucked on a little portal right here, a preset which I don't own, and then a fruited delay 3 right here. All in total, this is what it sounds like. That is the sample to Lil Skies Pivot. Right guys, so now I just remade the drum section because unfortunately I don't have the FLP from Zerby. I only did it in about 10 minutes, so kind of give me some leeway right there. That's what it sounds like. Pretty fire drums right there. Shout out to Zerby. So yeah, man, pretty much that is how the song was made. As you guys can see, it used a lot of Synth Palace. So if you haven't already, go check out Synth Palace. It's got some great sounds in there. I've got another kit coming very soon, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Fire beat. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.